Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Introducing the Smart Kicker from iConnect, the most affordable smartphone on the market. With a follow focus capable 2-megapixel camera, you can't miss out on any of the action. Over 400 hours of standby battery time and 32 gig external memory. That's more than enough space for all your series, music, pics, apps and games. Get yours today from iConnect for a limited offer of only 499 kwacha, including 300 MB iSpot internet from iConnect. The Smart Kicker, available at iConnect. iConnect, make it happen.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Jungle.
We're so glad you could join us for Prime Television's main news. My name is Mathana Manje. To present it, we take a look at stories making headlines. President Edgar Lungu leaves Women's Day celebrations after feeling unwell. Kapembwa Simbao adopted on the PF ticket. UNIP calls for unity among tribes. And in international news, Malaysia marks first anniversary of MH370 loss. Join me shortly with the details. Thank you so much for joining us, and now the main news in detail. President Edgar Lungu on Sunday cut short his participation at the International Women's Day celebrations at Heroes Stadium due to an illness. President Lungu, who was scheduled to grace the function, cut short his celebrations after he felt uncomfortable. Addressing the gathering, President Lungu said he had to cut short his participation in the proceedings after doctors recommended he be attended to after traces of malaria were detected. President Lungu later bid farewell to the dignitaries that had gathered and assured the nation not to worry. Meanwhile, women from various sections of society on Sunday joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Women's Day under the theme "Gender is my agenda, make it happen." Women from government departments, the private sector and political parties, among others, took part in the celebrations held at Heroes Stadium.
Sorry, I'm not feeling too well. The doctor feels like they have some malaria or something. I'm not the clinic. So the proceedings should continue. Otherwise, it's something that should cause you to worry about some things will happen. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Excellency.
And President Lungu says he has been attended to by doctors at Maina Soko Military Hospital and has been found with traces of malaria. He has, however, assured the nation not to worry as he is well. The president was speaking to journalists at Maina Soko Military Hospital shortly after being attended to. Mambo Hamaundu, a financial analyst, has called on government to ensure it fully implements the diversification policy if the economy is to improve. Mr. Hamaundu says over-dependence on the mining sector has also contributed to the country's low gross domestic product (GDP). He says there is need for agriculture to take center stage as it is one of the sectors, if well managed, can help revamp the country's economy. He says a lot has been said about the sector, but that policy implementation is the only key that will drive the diversification from mining to agriculture. He has, however, urged government to put the right agricultural policies in place if it is to implement positive results.
Well, I think within government circles, I heard Minister of Agriculture talking of agriculture being one of our escape routes as a nation. And I think this is a talk that has been there from as early as 1973. And the only unfortunate thing is nothing pragmatic is being done to ensure that we actually do realize this diversification away from over-dependency on copper to agriculture. If agriculture is given the right attention, if agriculture is given the right policy framework, people are encouraged to go into that sector. It can indeed result in a better Zambia, but it has to take policy, and not just policy, pronouncement and action.
The government says there has been a positive growth in the maternal health care, especially in the self-delivery of babies in the country. Republican President Edgar Lungu says self-deliveries has risen from 54.1% in 2011 to 52.2% in 2013. He says there is need to accelerate the creation of more hospitals and schools so as to improve the health care of women in the country. The president said this during the International Women's Day celebrations. President Lungu says Zambia will endeavor to reach the SADC and United Nations Millennium Development Goals of ensuring women have 50-50 equal opportunities as men. He said this in a statement read on his behalf by Gender and Child Development Minister Professor Nkanduluwo during the International Women's Day celebrations.
The Patriotic Front government has stepped up interventions in the health sector. This has resulted in positive growth in maternal health, such as safe delivery of babies from clinics and hospitals. The safe deliveries have risen from 45.1% in 2011 to 52.2% in 2013. Government has also increased the screening for and management of breast and cervical cancers. It's for this reason that my administration will accelerate the construction of the 650 health posts and hospitals across the country. Further, access to essential amenities such as hospitals for health care, markets for agricultural produce, and schools for children's education have been enhanced by the improvements made in the road sector.
Speaking at the same event, Non-Governmental Coordinating Council NGOCC chairperson Sarah Longwe says Zambia has in the past 20 years recorded success in the involvement of women in national matters. She says there has been a change in the manner that women were viewed and that they are now recognized for the roles they have continued to play. And United Nations country representative Janet Rogan says the 2015 Africa Scorecard on Violence Against Women and Girls have not fully been eradicated but has been profoundly entrenched across the continent.
This year, the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, where our Vice President has gone, Honorable Inonge Mutuka Wina, is reflecting on the 20 years from 1995 on the implementation of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. And this declaration and the action platform covers areas of concern such as poverty, culture and family, health, environment, human rights, peace, gender mainstreaming, communication and arts, the girl child, and the institution mechanism. And Zambia was there in China in 1995, and we all accepted our work.
Yet, more than 100 years after voices were first raised in the first Women's Day, women and girls worldwide still suffer denial of their universal rights and live under the threat of some form of gender-based violence. Here in Zambia, hardly a day goes by without a news report of another sister badly beaten or raped, or a girl child who has been defiled, or even a grandmother in her 90s who should be deserving every respect, who has been raped. What is so striking about this is that gender-based violence seems somehow to be accepted as just something that happens, as something that is natural. The 2015 Africa Scorecard on Violence Against Women and Girls shows that epidemic levels of violence against women and girls have not only not been eradicated, but they have become institutionalized and profoundly entrenched across this continent.
5 members of the same family, including 1.5-year-old baby, have drowned on Lake Kapolomwe in Samfya in Luapula Province after the boat they were traveling in capsized. Luapula Province Deputy Police Commissioner Webi Shula confirmed the incident in an interview in Mansa and described the incident as very unfortunate. He said that the water incident happened on March 4th and it is believed that the banana boat was overloaded and capsized in bad weather. Mr. Shula named the deceased as Peleus Mwansa, 39, and his wife Malian, aged 37. Others are Maurice Mwansa, 3, and Chileshe Mwansa, 1.5-year-old, and Kalaba, a nephew, aged 6. Mr. Shula said 4 bodies except that of the woman have been retrieved and that the police have continued the search. You are watching Prime Television's main news. Just before we go on a break, here are the headlines again. President Edgar Lungu leaves Women's Day celebrations after feeling unwell. Kapembwa Simbao adopted on the PF ticket, and UNIP calls for unity among tribes. And still ahead in the news, the ruling Patriotic Front has adopted Kapembwa Simbao as its candidate in the Senga Hill parliamentary by-election. Join me after the break with more details.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
We now continue with the Prime Television's main news. The ruling Patriotic Front PF has adopted Kapembwa Simbao as its candidate in the Senga Hill parliamentary by-election, and the PF has adopted Lawrence Sichalwe as its candidate in Chawama constituency, and Michael Zondani Katambo will stand on the PF ticket in Masaiti constituency. PF Secretary General Davis Chama disclosed this in an interview in Lusaka, and Mr. Chama said the PF northern and western provincial structures have been dissolved to pave way for reorganization. He said intra-party elections from sections and branches will commence next week in readiness for next year's general election. Munali aspiring candidate Patrick Mungo has called on women to believe in themselves and make things happen. Mr. Mungo says time has come for women to effectively compete for any position in society as long as they have the capacity and the drive to do so. He says government has shown its commitment to empowering and recognizing women to higher position of authority, hence the need for women to ensure they stand up and develop themselves. He says the only way women will stop being vulnerable and be independent is when they can develop their skills and realize their potential.
Most of the women, it's like they are really being intimidated and abused by their husbands because they are also really lazy. So what they are supposed to do, don't just sit, you are waiting for your husband to bring money. So no, if you know that you can do something, this is the right time for all the women to wake up and at least engage yourself in something that will really help to earn a living, not just sitting. Because of laziness, you find that you are being abused. So these are some of the things that we are supposed to look into. Then not only that, this also concerns men as well. For us men, if you see that like your wife is got an hidden ability that she can do at least something, it's time for us to wake up and help them. At the end of the day, you find that the over-dependence which is really there, it will be reduced because they will be able to find at least something that will really help them to sustain their lives.
The United Nations Independence Party, UNIP, has called for serious tribal intervention if One Zambia, One Nation motto has to continue. Party President Tilyenji Kaunda says UNIP brought all tribes together and is saddened at how the country is getting divided through tribal talk. Speaking when addressing the party's Women's League that participated in the International Women's Day celebration March past, Mr. Kaunda expressed sadness that leaders are not taking serious issues of tribalism and wants to kill what UNIP worked so hard at achieving. He has assured the nation that UNIP will bring back the true meaning of One Zambia, One Nation once it gets into power in 2016.
As UNIP, we are not happy with the level of corruption in our society. We are not happy with the level of tribalism in the party. In the nation, yes. We are not happy with tribalism in the nation. It is up to us as UNIP to provide leadership to the nation. We are lovers of peace. UNIP brought 73 tribes plus together. UNIP inaleta mitundu 73 pamozi. Even those who came from outside. We settled them. And we lived in peace. This must come about again. The way I see it, it is only UNIP which can provide leadership.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kaunda has commended the Women's League for their participation in this year's International Women's Day celebrations. He has, however, called on women to arise and change the way they are perceived by improving their lives. He has challenged women to ensure they stand up if they are to be counted alongside men in decision-making positions, both in communities and the country.
Many of the things which have gone wrong today is that opportunities have been removed from the women. They have no power anymore. The women are struggling to hold up their households. This needs to change. And it is up to you women again. Unfortunately, nothing comes for free. If you don't struggle for it, it won't be given to you. At this moment in time, don't look behind you. There's no one who's going to help you. You are the people in charge. You are the people on the spot right now.
You're still watching Prime Television's menu. Stay tuned for international and sports news.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
In international news, families of the 239 people on board Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 are marking the anniversary of the plane's disappearance with a vow to never give up the search for the wreckage and answers to the world's biggest aviation mystery. Voice 370, a support group for the keen of those on board, hosted a day of remembrance at the mall in Kuala Lumpur on Sunday. Later in the day, the Malaysian government will release an interim investigation report, a requirement under international civil aviation regulations. Although no wreckage has been found, officials in Australia, Malaysia and China, the three countries leading the search effort, say they are still optimistic the passenger jet will be found in the southern Indian Ocean, where they suspect it crashed after deviating from a flight to Beijing. Nigeria's armed group Boko Haram has pledged allegiance to Islamic State of Iran and Levant, Reuters news agency reports. The pledge attributed to Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau was made in an audio recording posted on the group's Twitter page on Saturday. Baghdad has already accepted pledges of allegiance from other armed groups in the Middle East, Afghanistan, Pakistan and North Africa. Boko Haram has been waging a 6-year military campaign to carve out an Islamic State in northern Nigeria. On Saturday, 3 bomb blasts killed more than 50 people and wounded scores of others in the northeastern city of Maiduguri in the West attacks since Boko Haram fighters tried to seize the city in 2 major assaults earlier this year. For more on these and other international stories, we now monitored Al Jazeera.
Nigerian armed group Boko Haram has pledged allegiance to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. Suspected fighters from the group have killed more than 50 people in a series of bomb attacks in the northeastern city of Maiduguri on Saturday. Representatives from Libya's 2 rival factions have agreed to form a national unity government. Both sides will now start the reconciliation process. The agreement was reached during talks led by the UN in Morocco. The Iraqi army continues its push to try to retake Kirkuk from ISIL fighters. On Saturday, troops liberated Tel Qaseba town just east of the city. Yemen's defence minister has arrived in the southern city of Aden. Mahmoud al-Sabehi escaped from house arrest in the capital Sana'a on Saturday. En route to Aden, 5 of al-Sabehi's bodyguards were killed when his convoy was ambushed near the city of Taiz, but the defence minister managed to arrive safely at the port city. Houthi fighters surrounded his home in Sana'a in mid-January. He's following Yemeni President Abd Rabbu Mansour Hadi, who also fled to Aden from Sana'a last month. In the United States, a police chief has appealed for restraint from protesters after the shooting of another black teenager. Demonstrators in Madison, Wisconsin, spoke out after police fatally shot the teenager on Friday. The Colombian government and FARC rebels have agreed to remove landmines and other explosives from battlegrounds. Negotiators say the agreement is a positive sign after more than 2 years of talks in Cuba to end 5 decades of civil war. Memorial services are being held on the first anniversary of the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. 239 passengers and crew haven't been seen since the Boeing 777 took off from Kuala Lumpur bound for Beijing. Search crews are continuing to scour the southern Indian Ocean, where experts think the wreckage might be found.
And now finally in the news in sports. The Zambia under-20 soccer team will on Monday open its campaign at the Fire Stadium with a match against Mali at the Senegal 2015 Africa Youth Championship tournament. The game will kick off at 19:30 hours local time, 21:30 hours Zambian time. Ghana will be Zambia's second opponents. To conclude the kick-out assignment, Zambia will meet perennial rivals South Africa in Dakar. Africa. The teams that will get to the semi-finals will automatically qualify to the New Zealand FIFA World Cup later this year. The championship runs from 8th to 22nd March 2015. As we end our main news bulletin, here are the headlines again. President Edgar Lungu leaves Women's Day celebrations after feeling unwell. Kapembwa Simbao adopted on the PF ticket. UNIP calls for unity among tribes. And finally, in international news, Malaysia marks first anniversary of MH370 loss. That's all we had on our main news bulletin. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Martha Namanje, and on behalf of the entire news production team, stay tuned to Prime Television for more programming.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. ZESCO, powering the nation.